You ever open up a social media app, just for a second, and then you look up at the clock and poof, 30 minutes are just gone? Yeah, you are definitely not alone. That feeling of losing time, of just falling down some digital rabbit hole, it happens to all of us. But have you ever stopped to wonder why it happens?
Okay, check out this number, 19 hours and 47 minutes. That's how much time the average person spends on Facebook every single month. To put that in perspective, that's like taking on an extra part-time job for 2 full days, and your only task is scrolling. And that really brings us to the core question of this whole explainer. Is all this endless scrolling just some random side effect of new technology, or is it a carefully engineered outcome? Something designed from the ground up to grab our attention and not let go.
So how exactly does this trap work? Let's start by looking at the basic design that's meant to keep us completely locked in.
It really all comes down to the business model. Platforms like Facebook are a $16.4 billion revenue machine, and that whole machine runs on one single fuel source, your attention. The longer you're on the platform, the more ads they get to show you, which means, you guessed it, the more money they make. In this world, your attention isn't just a side effect, it's the actual product being sold.
Now, the most brilliant and kind of manipulative tool for this is the infinite scroll. Think about it. Before this feature, websites had pages. You'd get to the bottom, and you had to make a choice. Do I click to the next page, or do I leave? Those were natural stopping points. The infinite scroll was deliberately designed to get rid of them, and it taps into this deep-seated human bias for novelty. Your brain is literally wired to hunt for the next new thing, and the feed is built to give you a never-ending supply.
All right, so the infinite scroll keeps our thumbs moving, but it's what's happening inside our brains that really gets us hooked. These platforms are basically dopamine delivery systems.
The secret weapon here is a psychological trick called variable reinforcement. See, the algorithm figured out that unpredictable rewards are way more addictive than predictable ones. If every single post you saw was amazing, you'd eventually get satisfied and log off. But by mixing in hilarious videos with boring updates and stuff that makes you angry, the platform keeps your brain guessing, always hunting for that next little dopamine hit.
And this slide just illustrates it perfectly. Your social media feed is, for all intents and purposes, a slot machine in your pocket. You pull the lever, or, swipe your thumb, and you have no idea what reward you're going to get. Maybe it's a jackpot, like a great meme. Maybe it's a small win, a nice photo from a friend. Or maybe it's nothing. It's that maybe that makes both of them so addictive.
So, we've got the psychological trick down. Now let's pull back the curtain and look at the machine that powers this whole thing. This is anything but random. It's a super sophisticated 4-step process.
Every single time you open the app, this 4-step cycle kicks off. First, the algorithm takes an inventory of every possible piece of content it could show you. Next, it analyzes thousands of signals based on everything you've ever done. Then, based on those signals, it makes predictions about what you'll do. And finally, it gives every post a relevance score to build a feed that is perfectly, uniquely tailored to you.
And that signal stage, that's where the algorithm gets to know you. Maybe a little too well. It's looking at hundreds of thousands of data points. And it's not just what you like or comment on. It's tracking how fast you scroll. Did you pause for just a fraction of a second over a picture without liking it? That's a signal. Do you tend to watch cooking videos on Tuesday nights? That's a signal. Every single tiny action you take is more data.
So here's the real kicker. It's what happens in that prediction stage. The algorithm isn't just trying to figure out if you'll like a post. The ultimate question it is programmed to ask is this: will this specific post shown at this exact moment make you stay on the platform just a little bit longer? That's why a post that sparks a really toxic debate can actually rank higher than a beautiful photo. If anger keeps you engaged for more minutes than appreciation does, well, then anger wins.
All this constant back and forth with an algorithm that's designed to maximize engagement doesn't just waste our time. There's a growing pile of evidence that suggests it's fundamentally changing how we think.
To really get this, we have to look at something called dual process theory. Basically, it says we have 2 different modes of thinking. Type 1 is our fast brain. It's our autopilot. It's all intuition, emotion, and automatic reactions. It's fantastic for making quick decisions without a lot of effort.
On the other hand, you've got type 2. This is our slow brain. This is our analytical, logical mind. It's what we use for complex problems and deep thinking. But here's the thing, it's lazy. It takes a ton of energy to fire up, so our brain tries to avoid using it whenever it can.
And this is where it all comes together.
The incredible speed of the feed, the emotional content, the constant stream of novelty, it is all perfectly designed to keep you in that fast, reactive, type 1 mode. The platform wants you reacting from the gut, not stopping to use your slow analytical brain. And why? Because reflection is a natural stopping point, but reaction, that's just more fuel for more scrolling.
And look, this isn't just a theory. It has real, measurable effects on us. A really fascinating study in the journal Memory found that after people used Google to answer one set of questions, they were way more likely to immediately turn to Google for a second, even easier set of questions. And get this, they spent way less time even trying to remember the answer on their own first. We are literally being trained to outsource our own thinking.
So, if our brains are being hijacked by these incredibly addictive systems, what can we actually do about it? Well, the good news is, just understanding how the machine works is the first big step to taking back control. The key idea here is to fight a frictionless system with what's called intentional friction. These platforms are designed to be as easy to use as possible, so your job is to make them harder to use. Turn off notifications so the app can't just pull you back in whenever it wants. Move the app off your home screen so you actually have to go looking for it. Every little obstacle you create gives your slow brain a chance to catch up and ask, hey, do I really want to be doing this right now?
You can also fight the machine using its own logic. Remember, the algorithm is a learning system, which means you can actively retrain it. If you're tired of seeing political outrage in your feed, stop engaging with it. I mean completely. Don't comment, don't react, don't even slow down your scroll. And on the flip side, actively seek out and interact with the stuff you do want to see. You're feeding the algorithm data one way or another, you might as well start doing it on purpose.
But in the end, it's absolutely essential to remember this. The system isn't evil. It's just indifferent. It's an incredibly powerful tool that's been optimized for one single purpose: maximizing your engagement to maximize their profit. Your mental health, your happiness, your time, those just aren't variables in its equation.
Which really leaves us with one last crucial question. Knowing that there's a multi-billion-dollar machine specifically designed to direct your focus for its own benefit, you have to ask yourself every time you pick up your phone, right now, in this moment, who's really in control of your attention?